I watched Joe Rogan's new special on Netflix. He did a live special, and I'm a fan of Joe Rogan. I've been a fan of Joe Rogan's podcast for a long time, probably over a decade now, since the beginning. I'm that guy. I've been listening to him since the early days, and but I've seen what he's evolved into. I'm aware of who he is now. But boy, the amount of hatred for Joe Rogan and his comedy. This is a new thing that I've picked up on browsing through the internet comments. The comments section on YouTube. And wow, what a toxic, but what a place to be. The comment section. And I have a theory on that I'm going to get to here in a moment. Just something to ponder on, you know. But it's nothing but about how Joe Rogan isn't funny anymore. Okay? The topic is, is Joe Rogan a shitty comedian? Yeah, he's brought up all sorts of shitty comedians and made them famous. People like Bert Kreischer, Brendan Schaub. These are not funny people. Okay? They're not. And he gave them the spotlight because of his podcast. I think Joe Rogan does a phenomenal podcast. I think he probably has the best interview-style talk show that exists today. It is. It's the most, middle of the road when it comes to things like politics. It's very insightful, very educational. He has on a lot of guests that are qualified to talk about a lot of complex issues. And it's great. It's a great show. But his comedy, that's the hot topic. Now, I think Joe Rogan's early comedy, when he was early in the UFC, still on Fear Factor, his earlier specials, I think they're great. I think they're hilarious. I think he was young, full of energy. He was the image of a typical tough guy douchebag, but he was hilarious. And he talked about real shit. He bridged that tough guy shit with actual comedy and I think he was awesome. Lately, I think his comedy has become far too scripted. I think it's far too he's gone from just a stand-up comedian to the top podcaster in the world who refers to comedy as a craft. I can't stand comedians who refer to what they do as a craft. You're a tool. It's not a craft. It's the thing you do. Could you give me an argument? I'm sure you could. I'm sure somebody could go, well, no, it's a craft. It's art. Sure. Fine. I get you. I hear you. But to talk about it like it's a craft is what bothers me. Sure, maybe it's a craft. Sure. However you want to look at it. It's comedy. You're making me laugh, or you're not. But to sit there and with other comedians and just ponder about your craft, I despise that. I can't stand that. It's not fun. And the comedians you're talking to usually about the craft of comedy is not funny. I don't want to listen to you talk to Bert fucking Kreischer about your guys' craft. I'd rather you have on Randall Carlson and talk about something real. Or Jordan Peterson. It's just, I'm tired of the anyway, the point is he funny? I think we've hit a problem in society where we cannot be entertained. We just cannot. Our brains have, because of the internet, because of the comment section on every website ever invented, everybody has a voice, and it's a voice that can remain anonymous, which entitles you to say whatever you want. And it's nothing but negativity. I've not seen a lot of positivity. Joe Rogan's not funny anymore, blah, blah, blah. His stand-up sucks. I saw a comment It was really interesting. There was a comment that somebody said, essentially, that Joe Rogan has zero talent. Now, that's just a bizarre thing to say. It's a bizarre thing for somebody, a random anonymous viewer on YouTube who does nothing with entertainment, probably has zero talent himself or herself, to say that about somebody like Joe Rogan. Look, whether you like his podcast or whether you like his comedy, it's an obscene thing to say that he has zero talent. Okay? He's funnier than you. Whoever you are posting that comment, he's funnier than you. Okay? Across the board, he just is. He's a funnier person than you are. Joe Rogan's hilarious. I just think, like Dave Chappelle and a lot of other comedians, Chris Rock, a lot of other comedians that got to that level. Now, I'll say Chappelle is probably a level above both of those, but because Chappelle manages to still be funny, it still feels scripted. Their act is so polished because you're so famous. It has to be polished. It can't be loose and just you at the club working out material. I say I'd love to see Rogan working some of that shit out. But he is funny. I enjoyed the special. I enjoyed his newest special. I can't remember the name of it to save my life. Fuck me. Burn the Boats. That was what it was called. I enjoyed it. He's got this reputation now with the online haters about him humping stools and being like so animate. Guys, we used to enjoy that kind of comedy. It's a type of comedy. Not all comedy has to be just, gritty New York Legion of Skanks podcast. I love that shit. Hey, I love that shit. I love, old school New York comedy, your Dave Attell's and all those, but it doesn't have to be just cut and dry. People got to leave their comfort zones. And when they see a comedian up there being a little animated, bringing some of that Dane Cook to the stage, not that Rogan's quite Dane Cook with the physicality or anything, but Rogan makes the faces, the noises, but he also does regular comedy within that. He makes good points. I think his joke structuring is very good. I mean, on paper, it's very good. I think some of his takes I've heard him say on the podcast and then watched a special. And so I get to see how he took what he said and kind of morph it into a bit, makes it funny. That is the definition of talent. And I respect it. I just think that people can't turn it off. Your online personality, it's very sad that you're able to have that. But at the end of the day, these people cannot turn that off. No matter what they watch and try. I hate a lot of shit. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and play the victim or pretend like I'm some saint. I hate a lot of shit. If I came on this show and just reviewed movies, you would be like, do you like anything? I understand. But sometimes you just flip the switch. Sometimes you need to just turn it off and enjoy something. Turn it off and enjoy something. It drives me fucking crazy. I'm thinking about doing a segment on the podcast where I pick a video and we go through comments. We go through comment section and just feel what I'm talking about. Every single thing that I like, that I watch on the internet, I go to the comment section and just read how many people hate it. It's very strange. It's very strange that there's videos of things that I enjoy, shows and podcasts and whatnot, that have millions and millions of views, but all the comments hate the show. Well, why you watch the show? Why'd you watch it? If you hate Joe Rogan's stand-up, why'd you click it? You saw it. You saw what it was. Why'd you watch it? You don't enjoy it. I'm sure there was a lot of people that are like, I hated his last one. I'm going to hold out and hope that this one's good. Fair. Fair enough. But how long did you get before you figured out, like, did you figure out 30 minutes in that you hated it, but you still finished it? Because if so, you bother me. Don't fucking watch it. A lot of music out there that I think is probably talented music. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I'm a psycho. There's something, but I don't listen to it and then go talk shit about it. I don't put myself in a position to watch or listen to something that I'm going to hate. Which leads me to believe, well, fuck, maybe there's a lot of people out there that do that on purpose. Maybe there's a lot of people out there that put on entertainment, put on something of substance just to be able to go to the internet afterward and put their little opinion out there for people to sit there and agree with them. That's what it is. They need you to agree with them. They need to put the comment, oh, Rogan hasn't been funny in a decade. So they can keep, every 10 minutes, refresh their notifications and wait for that comment mention where some other asshole, some other anonymous dickhead is like, yeah, Rogan, he's talentless. He's a hack. What's the point? What's the point of any of that?